All right. Hey guys, it's Julie Roth with Hegg Realtors and JR Designs. I'm here with Robbie today to bring us a little bit of information about this new app that he developed. He's in the structural world, and one of the things that I think is great about the app is it'll be great for us realtors or interior designers or even DIYers to figure out how do we know if we can take that wall down? So I'm going to flip it over to Robbie, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how this works.
Yeah, like Julie said, my name is Robbie. I work in the structural field, and one of the main questions we get is this a load-bearing wall or not? And unfortunately, it's one of the ones that most people don't want to answer with a high degree of certainty. And with that, we put out a website at structuralhelp.com that has an assessment to help you determine that on your own. It'll be a series of questions that you answer that gets you to a point of yes, it is load bearing, or no, it is not. I'll kind of just walk you through it, do a quick example, and we can go from there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Is this something that we can get like on our phones, or does it have to be desktop, or what's the best way to use it?
Desktop or phones, it's optimized for both.
Okay,
It's
cool.
a little easier on a computer, but certainly can be done on a phone. And so the first thing you'll do is set up an account, which I've already done. And so if you need to create a new account, click on my account and go from there and put your information. If you lose a password, your password or anything like that, you can reset it.
Okay.
And from there, go to assessments.
And is there, when you set up an account, is there any fee associated with that, or
Nope,
that's what you need to do to get started?
nope, that just set your location where you're at, where the house is located at. One thing that is important is building types throughout the country differ. And so this is kind of set up for the Midwest right here. So it's limited to 8 different states right now.
Okay.
And so that out, create an account. And once you're ready, you can click on create a load bearing wall here. It'll bring you to a paywall, which I've already gone through. Basically, it's $49.95 plus tax, depending at where you're at. It'll give you access for 5 days, unlimited uses. You can go through and figure out every wall in your house if you want to. So basically, just general terms and conditions, couple acknowledgements on the bottom, click continue. And we've really tried to set it up so, as I say, my wife can work through it. And so fairly simple. So I've had her go through and identify different walls in a house and stuff like that. And so they start out with a different set of questions, and it's not everyone working through the same series of questions. It's a pretty massive flow chart that you'll work through. So based off of how you answer, it'll go to the next question. So for instance, here we'll pick an interior wall. There'll be some help on the bottom. I did right here. It says identify whether the wall in question is an exterior or an interior wall, which is a fairly easy question. You should be able to figure that out.
Right.
If the questions get more complicated, typically there's more of an explanation, or there's resources on the bottom as well. So the next question in this series is identify if there is a floor or roof above the wall. So we'll go an interior wall with a roof above.
Okay.
The next question is, are the roof trusses parallel or perpendicular to the wall? So,
oh, that's a tough one. How do you find that out?
yeah, well, sometimes you'll need to poke your head up like I do when I get hired to identify, poke your head up in the ceiling and take a look at it. Or if exposed, it's much easier. Look in the mechanical rooms. Unfortunately, sometimes I even have to just take a hammer and knock a hole in a wall or a ceiling that isn't visible just to figure it out.
Right. You're going to demo it anyway, so no biggie.
Yep, right. And so we'll go parallel.
Okay.
Now, the next question is, what type of roof trusses are above the wall? Manufactured or hand framed? And so I provided pictures in an instance like this. And so most of your homes 1990 on past are manufactured. Your older homes, you'll see hand framed. So for this example, I'll go with manufactured.
So how do you, looking at those pictures, how do you know that? Is it by, like if I were to identify hand framed versus the
Yeah,
manufactured?
so engineered trusses will have compressed steel plates at all your intersections.
Okay.
So building code right now for residentials requires engineered floor trusses. So any new home now is going to be an engineered truss system.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
In the hand frame is, from the earliest home in existence to approximately the 1980s is when they kind of started to do them.
Okay.
And then you'll still see a few here and then, depending on it, but the dig giveaway is the sandwiched metal plates at all your connections. So
Okay.
the quick little demo we did, it said that it's a non-load bearing wall. And the beautiful part about an application like this is that if it's non-load bearing, there's no, like within the city of Sioux Falls or surrounding city, there's no requirement to hire an engineer to go spend hundreds, thousands of dollars to get a report wrote up to go forward and remove that wall. If it is, and you do need design, at that point, you can consult an engineer, a competent contractor to size a header to help you span that area. But
So
it's just,
when you get this back and it says it is a load bearing wall, then you recommend getting in touch with an engineer or a contractor or someone like myself who can get you connected with either one.
correct. Yep,
Okay. Cool. Is that it?
that's it. The
That's
goal
easy.
was to provide a cost-effective way for people to navigate through it to figure out whether it is or is not. Because if it's not, then there's no requirement to do anything outside of removing that wall. So
So if let's say one of my clients is doing this or I'm in the field and I'm doing this and I'm unsure about, maybe if it's in manufactured or hand truss or whatever it might be, are there options on here to like ask questions, or is it just kind of this is the
yeah, there is a contact us. If you have a question, you certainly can reach out to us. And we
okay.
can. We're always looking for improvements and ways to make it better too.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it looks pretty cool to me, pretty slick. Just answer a few questions, get your head up in the attic or look in a mechanical room and answer a few questions, and then you'll know if you can open up that space and make it beautiful, or if you need to call myself or a contractor or an engineer to come out and check it out, right?
Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Robbie. It looks really cool. I'm going to put the link to this in the comments below so you guys can check that out. If you have any questions at all, just reach out to me and I'll get you connected with Robbie and his team and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you for your time, Robbie.
All right, thanks, Julie.